It will be available for those who are absent. Yesterday we have been discussing about power system restructuring models, isn't it? So we have discussed that three models are there. What are the three models? One is pool flow model, normally referred to as PC. The other one is bilateral contracts model. Normally referred to as BC. And the third one is hybrid model, which employs both PC and PC. This is what we were discussing yesterday. Now, today's class, we will be concentrating on the working of three models, and we will compare these models. We will compare the relative merits and drawbacks. And finally, by the end of the class, I hope everybody of you will be in a position to suggest suitable restructuring model. My outcome will be, by the end of the class, you must be able to suggest suitable model for a given application. So before getting to this stage, let's see what are the working of these three models and what are the relative benefits and the demerits of all these models. Okay. So yesterday we have been discussing about pool flow model. So I will again explain to you from the basics of pool flow model. In the pool flow model, as we have discussed yesterday, how this model works, there will be, as you all know, there will be a lot number of generators. All these generating people, they will be called as independent power plants. Independent power plants. Normally, we refer to them as IPPs in electricity sector. IPP is independent power plant or independent power producers also. Anything you can call them. So I do have four different people who are generating power independently. Now, they want to sell their electric power, and there are customers who want to buy the power. This is just like a market where these people want to sell their electricity, these people want to buy their electricity. So they will come to a common pool, what I call it as markets, electricity markets. In the electricity market, there will be a person. I'll name him as ISO. Just for your sake, I'm representing him as ISO. I generally call in electricity market, I will call him as independent system operator. For him, everything is common. He is impartial to any of these units or these units. That's why I call him as independent system operator. Nowhere related to any of these guys. So independent system operator, he holds the power over this market. So he takes the bid. This is B1, B2, B3. and B4. He collects the bits of these generating units, and he collects bits from these people also, B1 star, B2 star, B3 star, B4 star, B5 star. So he collects bits from these people, he collects bits from these people, and finally he fixes up a price. It is called as market clearing price. How this price is being set up, that we will discuss in the next class. Okay? But right now, this independent system operator, he fixes up a market clearing price, normally called as MCP, where these people, they will be getting priority based upon their bid. So based upon their priority, they are supposed to sell their power at this market clearing price. And these people also, based upon their bids, they will be given priority. So based upon the priority, they will be allowed to buy the electricity at this particular price. So the priorities, they will be based upon number one, lowest price of generating entity. So if your price is low from the generating side, then automatically your product will be sold. That is the basic principle of economics in a market, isn't it? People will also go to a market. Where you will choose, you will always choose the quantity, or you will always choose the commodity which is at lowest price. Assuming all the qualities are equal, assuming the quality of electricity is same for all these entities. So our next priority will be cost. We will be always choosing the seller who offers us at the lowest price, isn't it? That is the rule of economics. So that's why whoever offers least price, this item will be sold first. And whoever offers a high price, there may be a chance that he may not find a buyer. Universal truth of economics. Isn't it? Coming to the buyer side also, to pay at a higher price, then automatically maybe if it and there is no available generation, so automatically he will be left out. So this is the process how Poolco model works. See now, before going for this price selection and everything, now you see who are the participators in this one. Who are the participators in this Poolco market? The participators are the independent power producers, what I call them as IPPs. Say, I am listing out the participators here. Who are the participators in Poolco model? First one is IPPs, who are termed as independent power producers, who are producing electricity, isn't it? And these are customers, or what I call professionally, the name is consumer. Who are the consumers? They may be disclosed, or if I am an individual, I can also enter if I want. Individuals or industries, right? So these people generally, they were termed as consumers, isn't it? And see, the main important participant is Poolco. What I call it as market, exchange. In other words, I can term it as exchange. So who will be present here? Independent system operator will be present here. Yes, what he does, he just finalizes the bid for these guys and these guys. So after finalizing the bid, what is the result of it? So what is the result? That these people can sell the electricity to these people. That is what he gives the information. That is what the information which he gives. వీళ్ళకి అమ్మచ్చు ఎవరెవరు ఎంత ఎవరెవరు కమ్మాలనేది మాత్రమే ఇస్తారు. He is not providing the means of transmission. Try to remember this. Transmission చేయడానికి వేరే వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు. Transmission is being done by different people. Try to remember that. He just gives instructions to these generators and to these buyers. Once, let us suppose if G1 is supposed to provide 100 megawatts at 10 rupees to C1 from G1 to C1. So he just gave instruction to this guy and to this guy that power exchange can take place. So immediately what will happen? They will contact the transmission people and they will go with the transmission. These guys, they normally don't take up the activity of transmission. Sometimes they will have their own network, but normally they will just indulge in just finalizing the bid and finalizing the market price. So that's fine. The fourth participant here is the transmission entity. Understood now? What is pool co-model? Isn't it? So what are the participants? The generating companies, the consumers, or what I call them as distribution companies, the transmission companies, and the centralized power market. Isn't it? So what is your PoolCo is doing here? Now we will list out the activities of the PoolCo. First of all, what it is doing is, first of all, setting up the bidding procedure. So what is the, I will write down here. So what is the job of PoolCo now? The first job is setting up bidding procedure. Bid అనేది ఎట్లా చేయాలి, దేనికి చేయాలి? First thing, they will set up a bidding procedure, isn't it? And after setting up the bidding procedure, they will collect the bids from all of these guys and then they will finalize the bidding procedure. And finally, they will shortlist the bids. Once the bids are shortlisted, they will arrange for scheduling of generation resources. Bids అనేవి ఫైనలైజ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఎవరికి ఇవ్వాలి, ఎంత ఇవ్వాలి, ఎప్పుడెప్పుడు ఇవ్వాలి. See, quantity and also duration, both will be finalized by this. So once they are done, they will instruct this transmission people that this is the time duration. They want this 100 megawatts of power at tomorrow 8 o'clock till tomorrow night 10 o'clock. Like that, they will give the schedule and they will dispatch the generation resources using these entities. Okay. Apart from that, these people, not only they will tie up with Transco and they will provide transmission services, there will be additional services also. These additional services are called as ancillary services. As an electrical engineer, I feel that you people know what are the ancillary services, isn't it? What are the ancillary services better in electrical power system, in electrical transmission? Now, I request your participation. Normally, if you transmit power over a long distance, what are the problems which we face? Anybody? If you transmit power over a long distance, what are the normal problems which you face? Anybody? Come on, guys. Anybody? Vicky, Sai, Ashita, Akhil. Normally, long distances transmit చేసేటప్పుడు ఏం ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ వస్తారా? At least is my voice audible for you? At least can anybody write in the chat box? Anyone? Yes. Power loss, very good. Transmission losses. Still. Okay. There will be voltage loss, voltage stability problem will be there, faults will be there. So all these things are to be taken up, right? And these services which are offered additionally with the power transmission, maybe it is reactive power injection, or maybe voltage boosting, or maybe providing additional stability, or monitoring transient stability. All these jobs are called as ancillary services. As an electrical engineer, you must know what the ancillary services are. మీరు PS2లో PS4లో చదివింటారు కదా, రియాక్టివ్ పవర్ మేనేజ్మెంట్, లోడ్ ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ మానిటరింగ్, స్టెబిలిటీ మానిటరింగ్, all these are ancillary services. Now this POOLCO, in addition to the transmission services, will tie up with the transport. They will also offer ancillary services. Okay? I hope you have understood. So this is the third job which will be done by this guy. Finalizing the bid, scheduling and generation through transfer services, and it offers additional services also, if you want. Okay, these will be priced separately, but they will offer services if you do want. And finally, they will also look into the settlement process. This is the biggest advantage. They will also look into the settlement process. So they will collect money from here for the power generation and also for additional services, and they will pay these guys. Okay, and finally, they will check that the entire transmission services and everything is impartially connected. It is impartially connected. So that's why what it is called non-discriminatory access. This is the word which we generally use in transport. Non-discriminatory access. This is to be ensured. Isn't it? This is to be ensured. Non-discriminatory access, which means equal access to all the people, irrespective of their turnover, irrespective of their ownership. So, POOLCO model will take the responsibility of offering, ensuring non-discriminatory access. So, these all jobs will be done by this POOLCO, centralized pool. Okay? And the most important thing which you are supposed to remember in POOLCO model is, POOLCO is an independent system operator. Okay, the foremost thing which you are supposed to remember is, these guys, they do not own any generation or distribution. So, which is the first and foremost thing. And they will also don't own any transmission also. So this is the first thing. So first and foremost point to become a POOLCO is that they shouldn't own any GENCO or DISCO or trans, because they must be impartial in nature. So that's why their first priority will be they shouldn't own any of these, any generating units or distribution units or transmission components, etc. Okay, and that's why they generally ensure non-discriminatory access to all the services, and they will be impartial. Okay, even though they don't own any transmission services, try to remember that they can control the transmission service. They don't own any of these things, but they will control transmission services. Why should they control transmission services? Because transmission services is only one. In the last 3 years we have discussed, if everybody starts laying their own transmission line, then it's Delhi board, and for going to Delhi, if everybody paves his own road, then entirely the country will be filled with roads. Isn't it? So, facilitator must be one, and it must be accessed non-discriminatorily. So that's what will be done by POOLCO. He doesn't own anything, but he controls his transmission sector, which is the crucial one. Okay? So that are the important points of POOLCO. Right? And in yesterday's class, I think I have already discussed about MCP. MCP is market clearing price. Once the MCP is finalized, These people have to sell at MCP, these people have to buy at MCP. And how MCP is finalized, that we will discuss in the next class. Okay? And MCP is only for cost of power beta. Cost of additional services and cost of transmission services, it is additional. Plus MCP plus ancillary services. In India, we will be having GST and service tax. So all these will again included. Don't feel that MCP is the final cost of transmission. It is the cost of generation only. It is the cost of only the electricity power for purchase. Additionally, there will be separate prices for everything. Okay. So the final price, it will be automatically greater than MCP because it includes a lot of things. Got it? I hope you have now understood. So now, what are the advantages of this one? Can anybody say? Shall we go with an example now? How many of you are ready to listen to an example now? Just a numerical example. Yesterday, I think I have it's just a small example, right? So I will give a glimpse about one more example now, if you want. How MCP is generally determined. Roughly. Mandira is the number. Right. Now let's see how MCP is. The detailed procedure I will explain at the end of unit number 1 when we do have separate topic. But for quick understanding, let's have a glance about how MCP is determined. Let's see here, G1, this guy is 100 megawatt and he is offering at 10. And this guy is 100 megawatt at 5. And this guy is 50 megawatt at 2. Are you able to see the screen, guys? And this guy wants 50 megawatt and he can offer up to 5 rupees. And this guy needs 100 megawatt and he can get up to, I'll go with 5 rupees, no problem. I'll go with 10 rupees. And this guy, right. So these are the bits which are placed. Closed bits will be placed, no open bits. Closed bits are placed and these are collected by the pool. Here Poolco is there. Here Poolco is there. Poolco has shortlisted this. Now they will check all these generations and now they will finalize. Whoever is offering least price of generation, G3 is offering, so he is given first priority. Next comes G2, next comes G1. This is the priority. Okay. In the customers, they will choose whoever is ready to pay high price. C3, C2, C1. This is the priority. Whoever offers at lowest price, whoever is ready to pay a high price. Okay. So now we will start with this one. G3 and C3. C3, how much does he want? 150 megawatts he wants. So he will go with G3. G3, is he ready to give 150 megawatts? Is the screen visible, guys? Is there any delay? Is the screen visible now? Is there any delay?
Visible, sir.
Yes, right. Now C3 needs 150 megawatts. So he will check with G3. Yes, he can deliver up to 50 megawatts. So 50 megawatts, this guy is fine. Okay. So First transfer will be from, so first transfer will be from G3 at 50 megawatts, and its cost is 2 rupees. And its cost is 2 rupees. Next, is C3 satisfied with the 50 megawatts? No, he needs 100 megawatts more. So immediately it comes back to G2. Yes, G2 is ready to give 100 megawatts, right? So now G2 will supply the remaining 100 megawatts. G3 అయిపోయింది. G3 only 50 megawatts అయిపోయింది. Now G2 will supply to C3 at 100 megawatts. The price remains the same. This is the most MCT which I have told you. This is fixed. Now everybody has to supply the state at the same price, 2 rupees now. Now G2 is supplying 100 megawatts at C2 to C3. Now is C3, he got 50 megawatts and 100 megawatts, so totally 150 megawatts. Now this problem is also solved now. Next priority is, so this problem is solved. Next priority is C2. How much C2 wants? 100 megawatts, isn't it? Now G3 is already completed. G2 100 megawatts is also already completed. So next priority will be G1, isn't it? So G1 will be supplying 100 megawatts to C1 at same 2 rupees. So he got his 100 megawatts and he has supplied his 100 megawatts. Completed. Next is C1. So his job is done. Next comes C1. C1 ki 50 megawatts kavali. G3 అయిపోయింది, G2 అయిపోయింది, G1 is also completed. He has also exhausted its capacity. So C1 is left out. Have you understood now? C1 is left out. This is the biggest problem. If you don't offer proper bid, then you will be left out. Understood now? Now we will see a different case now. Now this is the case. Now you say me, what is the priority now? Priority can be G2 or G3, anything is okay, but based upon the records, they will finalize whether G2 or G3. So I am taking G2 as the highest priority based upon my previous record. So G2, G3, and next comes G1. Here, who is ready to pay higher price? C1 is ready to pay me higher price. So C1, and next is C2. Isn't it? C1 and C2. Now, see here, who is going to pay now? G2 to C1. How much C1 wants? 50 megawatts only. So G2 is having 50 megawatts, and the price will be 5 rupees. And the price will be 5 rupees. Isn't it? So this is one. Next, so C1 problem is cleared. Next comes C2. C2 needs 200 megawatts, isn't it? Again, coming back with G2. G2 energy is already exhausted. So G2 is also cleared. So now he will check with G3. G3 can supply 50 megawatts to C2 at the same cost. And G3 has exhausted. But still C2 demand is higher, isn't it? Still it requires 150 megawatts. So again it will check with G1. So G1 now He has only 100 megawatt and his energy is exhausted. So he got only how much he got? He got only 150 megawatt and that too at a price of 5. He has got only 150 megawatt and that too at a price of 5. Now understood. So here everybody is now being sold because there was a higher demand. Now let us suppose if this guy has 200 megawatt. Now what will happen now? So he requires 150 megawatts only. So he will get his 200 megawatts here. C2. Because ఎందుకంటే C2 వాడికి ఇక్కడ నుంచి 50 వచ్చిందిరా ఇక్కడ నుంచి 150 తీసుకుంటాడు. And here only 150 megawatts is sold. 50 megawatts. 50 megawatts gone. Understood now? So this is how Poolco model works. So who will be getting benefited in Poolco model? Now, with the knowledge which you have gained, now you can say me. Among the generators, who will get most benefit? The higher price or the lower price?
Lower price.
Whoever offers lowest price. Who is most economical? Who maintains their operation most economical? He will be the biggest gainer in Poolco model. Right? And we can get a very clear understanding of how much is the consumption and how much investment can be made on a long scale. Let us suppose every day the consumers are going out without getting an energy. ప్రతిసారి నాకు మార్కెట్లోకి ఎంటర్ అయితే నేను ఒక 10 రోజులు మార్కెట్లో ఉన్నాను అనుకోరా నాకు అర్థమైపోతుంది ఏమని అర్థమవుతుంది ఓకే దిస్ ఇస్ ద డిమాండ్ అండ్ దిస్ ఇస్ ద ప్రైస్ సో ఐ కెన్ థింక్ అండ్ ఐ కెన్ ప్లాన్ ఎనీ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ హియర్ ఆర్ so participation in the Poolco model gives us knowledge about investing, where to invest, how to invest, and it also gives information about what is the consumption pattern. And it is highly advantageous for the people who can sell their electricity at lowest price and who are ready to pay high price. Okay, and those people who are successful in selling their electricity at a lower price, they can extend their operation because continuous ఒక 10 రోజులు ఇట్లా హై కాస్ట్ ఉన్నవాడు ఏం అమ్మలేకపోతున్నాడు అనుకోరు ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఏమైపోతుంది he will get exited right because of the losses which he gets. So these guys can extend and they can sell their power at a lower cost. So for those who can play economically, Poolco model is the best. Understood? And what is the role of ISO? Independent system operator? He collects a bit, finalizes a bit, and then he goes with the transmission services, offers additional services, etc. etc. Isn't it? వీటిలో ఏమేమి ఉంటాయి ఎంత నువ్వు జనరేట్ చేయగలవు ఎంత కాస్ట్కి జనరేట్ చేయగలవు ఫ్రమ్ ద జనరేషన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ వాట్ ఈస్ ద బిడ్ విచ్ యూ రిక్వైర్ అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ అవైలబుల్ అండ్ కాస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ అండ్ ఆల్సో వేర్ ఇట్ కెన్ డెలివర్ అండ్ వెన్ ఇట్ కెన్ డెలివర్. నేను యాక్చువల్గా ఈ పాయింట్ నేను ఇక్కడ రాయలేదు బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ మోస్ట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ వెన్ అండ్ వేర్ ఇట్ కెన్ డెలివర్. ఇప్పుడు ఈ రెండు ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ నేను ఇంతకుముందు లాస్ట్ కేసులో చెప్పాను కదా ఈ రెండిట్లో ఏది షార్ట్ లిస్ట్ చేస్తానంటే C1 వాడికి ఏది కంఫర్టబుల్గా ఉంది ఏది దగ్గరగా ఉంది అంటే వాడిని షార్ట్. నేను ఇంతకుముందు చాయిస్ తీసుకున్నాను కదా G2 or G3 అనేది. సో దట్ చాయిస్ విల్ బి బేస్డ్ అపాన్ మై when and where. Okay, so these people selling companies, they will provide the bid for amount of energy available and price and delivery point and duration of the delivery time also. Distribution companies, they will also the same amount of energy needed, the price at once they buy, and also delivery point. Okay, so and there is another concept called as contract for differences. I think that is not required now. I will explain in detail when we finalize the NCP. the next later class. Okay. Next is, I hope now you have understood this Poolco model. There is another model called as bilateral contract model. Now I will show you what is bilateral contract model. Right. Now this is the scheme which I have already proposed for you in the Poolco model. The same example I am taking now again. Poolco model is that now let us compare this Poolco model and this one. Okay. So it will give you a good knowledge. So I am Poolco model is now. Poolco model priority point of view generator 71st pick up aitunnadu. Who is the highest priority among the generators?
G3.
G3 because his price is very low. G2. G1. Customers law? C1, sorry. Yeah, C1, C2. Right? So who will get benefited here? G3 will sell to C1. C1 ఎంత కావాలి? 50 megawatts కావాలి. So G3 వాడు సప్లై చేస్తారు at a cost of 5 rupees. C1 వాడి ప్రాబ్లం అయిపోయింది. C2 వాడు ఉన్నాడు. వీడికి 100 megawatts. G3 వాడే సప్లై చేస్తారు. అయిపోయింది. So G2 and G1 are left out. They don't have any buyers. And if these people like mass people who do have mass production, if they enter the market at a very lower cost, automatically the small generating companies, they will be losing everything. They can't go with the lower prices, nor they can't stay like that without selling their electricity, isn't it? This is the problem with the market. So what they will do? They will make an agreement with these guys. They will make an agreement with this guy. That I will pay you 50 megawatts at 6 rupees or 7 rupees for 1 year, uninterrupted. And I will also provide all services which you want. And if you do have emergency, that also I will look at. It is just like bribing, isn't it? So rather than losing out in the Poolco model, now this guy, he has no guarantee if he enters the Poolco model. Let us suppose if there is some other guy, C3, if he enters on the third day, if he needs 500 megawatts at 25 rupees, so automatically what happens? Will he get anything in this Poolco model? Because he needs 500 megawatts. ఉన్నదంతా కొనేసుకుంటాడు 25 రూపీస్. సో వీడికి ఏమైనా వస్తుందా? రాదు. సో దిస్ cannot guarantee his power generation, isn't it? So in this case, these two have entered into a bilateral contract independent of the power pool. So they are not entering their power pool, they are having a bilateral contract. So these guys, they will be bribing him with some additional services or whatever the thing. Say what he is offering, 1 year, same price. Poolco model enter with the price and it will be varying per day, isn't it? But whereas he is offering constant 6 rupees per day, fixed rate of interest line. And he is offering uninterrupted supply. And additional services also he will provide. And emergency, if you do require also, he will adjust. So like that, these people will be getting a bribing things, all these things, and they will enter into a bilateral contract. And they have to talk with the Transco people also. This also, these guys, they will take care of. if they want. So it will be complete responsibility of this guy or this guy. So they will be handling these things between them only. So this type of contract is called as bilateral contract model. Bilateral contract model. This, in some literature, normally this is also referred to as direct access model also, where the customer will be having direct access, where the customer will be having direct access with the seller. See, these are all negotiable terms, isn't it? Whereas in pool co, this is non-negotiable. You don't have anything, all this central guy will decide. Here, these terms, conditions of contract, everything are negotiable. These are set by traders. Traders here, the seller and buyer, both they will sit, they will discuss and they will negotiate their terms. There is no interference from the external. The customers are very free to discuss with any of these guys. And they will make their own papers, they will make their own standards, pricing standards, etc., etc., etc. And they will go with this transfer of purchase power. No requirement of power. So, in this type of thing, is there any role of ISO? ISO has no role in this. If ISO manages transmission services also, then they will be going for ISO to ask only just to provide transmission service. Baba, we don't want your power. Just what we want is transmission service. So they will go ask the ISO, who may be a part of PoolCo. He will ask the ISO, just only provide a transmission service. The role of ISO is very limited in bilateral contract model. It is just limited to providing transmission or ancillary service. So who will get benefited in this one? Now can somebody say me? Who will get benefited in this model? Who will get benefited, beta? Who will get benefited? Let us suppose if I am there, you are there, we are all small customers, small local people, right? We can't enter into this power pool and we can't negotiate with these guys. So we people can form a group. We people are called as aggregate. Marketplace aggregator. So we can form an aggregator, a common group, and we can negotiate with these guys. Isn't it? So if there are any aggregators, then bilateral contract model is good. And the people who don't have any financial strength and who want a continuous power supply at whatever may be the cost. So then bilateral contract model is good. On a long-term basis, bilateral contract model is good. On a short-term basis, PoolCo model is good. Isn't it? So what is the advantage, beta? As long as this negotiations hold good, as long as this power concept, power pricing is good, agreeable to these companies. On a long-term scale, now these guys, they want continuous power supply. Maybe if they enter into a PoolCo model, they may not get the power on one day. But here, they can go with a long-term. Isn't it? There are advantages for both bilateral contract model and also PoolCo model. They have their own individual advantages. Now, what are the disadvantages of this one, beta? System users who lose in the bidding process have to find their power providers to supply their load or modify their load profile. It's most important. Let us suppose if I am there. I entered this one. I couldn't find any because I quoted very less. In the pool model, I am completely out. There was no power. So immediately what I am supposed to do? I am supposed to go and search for any of these private entity guys, and they have to make some bond. So if both are present, then it is called as hybrid model. Then this is one of the unique models where these have flexibility to sold part of this power into pool co-model, part of this power into this. Personally, I prefer a hybrid model, right? There must be a chance for bilateral contracts also. If the people want to go with a long-term contract, if the people want some sort of negotiable terms, they should go with the bilateral contract model. And if there is an acute shortage, then they can enter the pool co-model. ఇప్పుడు మనమే తీసుకున్నాం మన తెలంగాణలోనే తీసుకున్నాం. తెలంగాణలో నార్మల్గా మనమంతా మన పవర్ మనం జనరేట్ చేసుకోగలం. మన జెన్కో మన డిస్కమ్స్కి సరిపోతుంది. We are self-sustainable. But during summer, because of some or other reasons, we will be hitting an acute shortage, isn't it? Acute shortage is something we will enter into the power pool. If we need power at any cost, we will buy the power at higher price. అలా కాకుండా బయలాటరల్ కాంట్రాక్ట్ పెట్టుకున్నాను నాకు ఇప్పుడు 100 మెగావాట్ షార్టేజ్ వస్తుంది సమ్మర్లో, నేను వీటితో ఇయర్ మొత్తం పెట్టుకుంటే నాకు ఏమొస్తుంది? నథింగ్ అవైలబుల్. అట్లా కాకుండా నేను ఇప్పుడు కొత్త కంపెనీ పెట్టుకున్నాను, నేను ఇండివిజువల్ కొత్త కంపెనీ పెట్టుకున్నాను. వాడు ఇప్పుడు కొత్త కంపెనీ పెట్టుకున్నప్పుడు వాడికి ఇయర్ మొత్తం కవర్ కావాలి, వాడి దగ్గర ఓన్ జనరేషన్ లేదు, వాడు పూల్లోకి ఎంటర్ కావాలి. అటువంటిప్పుడు వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు? ఏదో ఒక యూనిట్తో డైరెక్ట్ కాంటాక్ట్ పెట్టుకుంటాడు, బయలాటరల్ అగ్రిమెంట్ పెట్టుకుంటాడు. సో a market must consist of both bilateral contract model and also pool co model. So hybrid model has got its own advantages. Nowadays every country is encouraging hybrid model. So in hybrid model, the biggest advantage is every person has got two options. Either he can choose from the pool co model or he can choose with the bilateral contract model, depending upon his situation. But what is the problem with it? Limitation is it is very costly to manage both the models at the same time, isn't it? There will be a big problem with the independent system operator, whether to provide access to the bilateral contract people or to the pool co model. So it is a little bit costly thing to set up, because pool co model and bilateral contract model, ISO role will be completely different. So it becomes a little bit complex, but it is preferable. So what is the conclusion now? So there are different models, and the choice of selecting a model is completely based upon the local situation, what the country needs, what the state needs, what the district needs. So based upon your requirements only, you are supposed to go with either pool co model or you are supposed to go with bilateral contract. Listen. Now I'll give a simple example if you are listening. If I go with Hong Kong, or if I go with Nevada, right? If I go with Singapore, these are the places where these are the places who are full of billionaires, right? Do they encourage pool co model? No, they have a lot of money, they can go with bilateral contract. But whereas in a small country where there is no private participation to the large extent, then it's better to have a pool co model, isn't it? Where everything will be centralized, where the government can take care or some independent system operator can take care of it. In a developing country, it's better suitable if you go with two things. Those who do have money, those who do want something, they can go with the bilateral contract model. And those who can enter pool co, they can enter the pool co model. That is the conclusion. And there is a weekly assignment also which has been updated for you. And guys, on Monday I think I have mentioned that it is going to be a tutorial class. So in the tutorial class, I will be giving you different situations. You are supposed to suggest them. Okay? What to do. So That's it for today. And I'm open for the discussion.